Welcome back, guys. So I think I told you a few episodes ago that I picked up this retrofit bottom drain off Facebook Marketplace for a tenner. And I've already got the retrofit washing up bowl. So there's nothing wrong with that washing up bowl, it's working really well. But I do have one concern with it, and I may as well change it to this. So I'm going to have this in that corner because my pond has a slight fall at the bottom, and where the washing up bowl is working really well, so no point moving it. Most people have them in the middle, but if I put it in the middle, I'm probably going to see the pipe work, and I'll probably get a dead spot in that corner, so it's going back where it is. So bottom drain there, pipe work across, pump in the corner, up. Should work. Right, with these retrofit bottom drains, and there's a million one of these videos online, so I feel a bit daft for doing it, but may as well. They come with this part, and then you normally put your pipe work onto your pump there, but instead of having flexi pipe, a lot of people hard pipe it. So you can buy a kit for these. You can buy a kit for these, which is basically this in a kit. But I've had some leftover pipe. I'm probably doing this all wrong, really, but there's method to my madness. I had this bitty pipe left over, so I wanted to use it, but that means I'll have to go out and buy it with loads of different parts. I don't know if any of you are the same as me when it comes to pipe fittings and plumbing parts. I end up going back and forth about 20 times to get the right bits. I've done one trip and I think it's going to work. Yeah, and a lot of people do this. I think the kit you buy, and when people do this, they do it in 1.5 inches. But I've got the 2 inch, so we're going for 2 inch. It will make no difference really, because my pipe there going to the filter house is 1.5 inches, so I'm not trying to gain anything by having a bigger pipe here, just for the pure fact I had that bit left over. Right, so we got this part, which actually comes with it. It normally goes on there. That's going to be screwed onto there. And then we got 45. And then this is going to drop it down. I've measured the pump, and the centre of the inlet on the pump is 80 mil above. You know, if the pump was resting flat on the floor, the centre of the hole of the pump is 80 mil up. So what I'm going to try and do is keep this up off the floor, just so nothing gets trapped underneath it. The last thing you want is to sit it down like that. It's just going to cause a little area for muck to get trapped. So I think by raising it up a bit is the way forward. Yeah, so right, that bit there like that, and then this piece of pipe which will run across the bottom. This is where it gets complicated, and only because I'm using this 2 inch pipe. I've got a coupler which is there to house the reducer. This pipe will be a lot shorter, it's just a tiny bit of 1.5 inches then to join that and this union connector to that, and that screws on to the pump. Yeah, I've got one concern with this part. So it's supposed to go into that coupler that way. I don't know if you can see this on camera. There's this gap. I can get a better view of it. This little gap around the edge there. It goes all the way in. I'm worried about crap getting caught in there. And it has to go on that way. You know, the water's going to be flowing that way, so it's going to get caught in that gap. And the only reason it has to go that way is because this pipe fits in there if I can go back up here again. And there's a little ridge along this side here, which is to stop the pipe. When you push it in, the pipe stops against that edge there. Tiny little lip. So what I'm planning to do is spinning it round so the flow goes that way. That means there's nothing for it to catch, nowhere for the dirt to collect. You can see that little ridge in there now. But it means I need to sand that little ridge down. Shouldn't be a problem. Sandpaper on it for 10 minutes. So yeah. My other option was to silicone that groove, but I think if I flip it round, that would work much better. Yeah. So coupler, reducer, tiny bit of 1.5 inch into the union onto the bump. Wish me luck, eh? Right, let's get to it. So, yeah, got rid of that lip now. So instead of that pipe going in that way and stopping at the lip, I'm going to turn that around, and now it goes in that way. Just be careful when I glue it. Now there's no gap for anything to get caught. Good, perfect like that, look. And just sand that off a little bit as well. Make it as free flowing as possible. So I'm just going to offer this up to there. Yeah. Offer that up to there. A little mark. Get this cut. I have got a circular saw, but do it the old-fashioned way. Give that a sand down. I will push up to there. I'll kind of get rid of that little gap as well. I might even, I don't want to push it right in because I can't get it off, but I might even eliminate that little, oh, look at that. There we are, that little gap that I had an issue with is gone as well, so not that it was going to cause a problem from. Perfect. So let's put all this together. Give that a bit of a key. I've keyed it up already. Lots of people do this, but I don't know whether it actually works putting the scratches in it. I suppose there's no harm in doing it. That's going to go in there. the problem with this stuff. You don't want to not put enough on. When you put too much on, it often squeezes out everywhere. Right, I'm back in a minute to get a cloth. Wipe off any excess. You don't want anything catching, you know, any little bits of this solvent well poking out, because tiny little bit of blanket weed or anything catch on it and then it just builds up. I'll do the job. Perfect. I've shown you how to solvent weld. I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this. I'll maybe speed it up and play some music. Have it connected up now. I just remembered back on another one of my other videos when I had blanket weed. So for those of you who don't know, I should have mentioned this right at the start of the video really, but instead of just having your pump in the pond and collecting waste from the bottom from that small 1.5 inch inlet on the pump, this 10mm gap around this, it's probably almost 300-400mm, is supposed to draw in the muck off the bottom from much further around, and they're highly rated. Lots of people rate them, but interestingly, when I did the blanket weed treatment in the pond and I did some underwater footage with my GoPro, just take a look at this next picture. I'll drop it in, but right the way around my retrofit washing up bowl, you can see the blanket weed on the bottom all being drawn in to the not free floating blanket weed, the blanket weed that's actually growing on the bottom of the pond. You can see it all being drawn in. It's quite interesting. I'll drop that in now. So this is the original piece that comes on, and there's a hole in here, and what that does is stops an airlock from forming in here. Any air that gets trapped in there gets released through the hole, enabling your pump to run. So because I've taken this off, I'm going to drill a hole in there. 3mm hole. Find a high spot. Also a good idea to sand any sharp bits. done. Just a closer look at my old retrofit washing up bowl. Very simple to make. This was my only gripe with it. You see the gap underneath? I was using these 4 little legs, just pieces of rubber pipe. I was just worried that any vibration would slowly wear away at the liner. But I don't think it was any vibration, to be honest. But a tenner for that retrofit bottom drain, I may as well have upgraded. If anybody wants this, drop me an email. 300 quid, it's yours. Ha! Do some underwater footage. So that underwater footage is a bit murky, understandably. I've been messing about with the pump and stuff, and you could see what's happening underwater there. This is my favourite time to view the pond at night. You know, the lights I got. It's awesome. Yeah, leave a comment, guys. I love the comments, really do. I've got something a bit different for my next video, something planned. I wouldn't say it hasn't been done before, but done differently maybe. I'm excited for it. For any that are into the DIY stuff, right up your street. Big Phil. Colours on them. My wife says, "You out there staring in that pond again?" Yeah. Oh, and in the underwater footage, if you've noticed the airlines that used to be wrapped around the old retrofit washing up bowl, I've just tucked it on an air stone for now, but I'm thinking about making a air curtain. Yeah, it'd be cool to get flow that way. Anyway, good night.